I'm Regina. I am diagnosed with depression, anxiety, PTSD, as well as a mood disorder. How you doing? So, I just recently came off of a mental pause. A mental pause is basically a mental and emotional timeout that you put yourself on to give yourself grace to not be okay, but be okay with not being okay, but be at a place where you okay with working towards being okay. Kind of a tongue twister, right? I am very proud of myself to be at a place with my mental that I know what my triggers are and I recognize my emotions and my feelings, and I can take the steps to do whatever it is that I have to do to get past it and through it. A few weeks ago, I contact my therapist because three tragic events happened back to back to back to back. I lost one of my closest friends of over 20 years to COVID. It happened very quick. We talking about he was diagnosed on Friday, um, was home Friday and Saturday quarantine, got admitted on Sunday, and was gone on Wednesday. It was very quick. The very next day, my older brother called to tell me one of my sisters passed away the previous Monday. And although he's the oldest, it was left up to me to call my mama and my other siblings. And then lastly, a few days after that, I was given an update on our cousin. My cousin Charmaine had kidney disease. She needed a transplant. Transplant. COVID kept pushing her transplant off. In January, her nose bled so much while at dialysis that her heart stopped. She passed away. They brought her back. Since then, they've been keeping her alive by the machine. All of us have been hoping and praying that a miracle was going to happen and she was going to snap out of it, even if that meant she was going to be a little disabled or something, but she was going to be here. That's not the case. Pretty much the only reason she's alive is because of the machine. And her dad just can't bear to pull the plug, which I completely understand because I can't even imagine to be in his situation, in his place, to have to make that decision. The update I received was that she was transferred to hospice. If you're familiar with hospice, you pretty much know once you go to hospice, yeah. And they said she basically is deteriorating and she's going to continue to deteriorate. And they also sent me a picture of how she looked at that moment. And that was just the breaking point for me. And it just put me in a funky mental place that was very uncomfortable because it was a place that I have not been in a very long time, where I was questioning a lot of stuff, where I was contemplating a lot of things, where I absolutely positively was not okay, and I had no idea how to make myself okay because I didn't have any space left in my mind to think of anything other than that. So I talked to my therapist and she told me to put myself on a pause. Pause. Allow yourself to think about things. Allow yourself to think through things. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to be human. Sometimes, so many of us, we are so used to being any and everything for everybody that we tend to forget that we need to be something for ourselves. And that's what I was doing. I was forgetting about Regina. I wasn't okay, but I was telling everybody I was okay. So if you ask me I'm okay, I'm okay. So I was living a life of being okay, but not being okay, but pretending like I'm okay in order for everybody else to be okay. But real life, I'm completely dying inside because I feel like I can't do anymore, or I can't take anymore. So I had to take the time out for me. I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell people what to do and what not to do when it comes to their mental space. But what I can do is make suggestions. And one of the best things that I've done for myself in recent weeks, I've put myself first. It's a lot of times in my life where I felt like I didn't have a voice. I wasn't allowed to speak. I've received so many words of encouragement and suggestions from friends on how to make sure my voice is heard, like your opinion matters, how you feel matters, blah, 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 blah. But what they failed to say was those rules didn't apply when dealing with them. And that's friends, family. It's been a complete shit show. So for me, I just removed myself from everybody and put me first to figure out what I can do to make me feel whole, what I can do so I could be at a place where I'm not just saying I'm okay, but I'm actually okay. So I talked to my therapist. I moved up my therapy meetings from just once a month to now we've been doing this every week. I have a prescription. Like, girl, sis, I feel good, okay? And I feel so at peace from just talking to somebody and getting a prescription and allowing the prescription to work, because I've had therapists in my past, especially like my early 20s, just throw medicine at me but did not offer the help. And with this situation, it was like the help was given to me first and the medicine was given as an option. And that whole scenario helped me a lot. So I made this video because what I'm going to start doing on my channel is one Sunday a month, we're going to talk about mental health. We're going to talk about trauma. We are going to start unpacking a lot of shit. Okay? We are going to start unpacking a lot of shit together. So if I unpack some baggage, that's one less bag I have to carry. And if you do the same, that's one less bag you have to carry. Sometimes you have to start somewhere, you know, and you have to be okay with understanding that you are starting. So since you're starting, you're not going to get to the end like that. It's going to take time. It's going to take some challenges. You're going to have to walk up some mountains. You're going to have to walk over some hills. You're going to have to walk through some storms. But you have to understand that the journey is going to be worth it. So until next video.